got the open meeting laws right up there. It's too bad they don't know how to read it.
I mean, that's really simple phrase.
Huh?
It's really simple phrase.
Well, yeah, but it's got a lot to say in it. The thing is I don't think any of them read it, at least with understanding. Hey, was it? What's that? Yeah. It reminds me of one of those in that Halloween movie that had those three witches in it. Focus, focus. Beth Midler.
She don't hear that one.
What do you think? What color is that? I don't know. It just looks so strange to be going from. Look at that.
I just want to go on.
Yeah, but I was going to see you. Well, yeah, but I guess.
Frequently.
I mean, and I sat down to the 11 and said, who the hell was that? They went from blonde hair to gray. Or kind of white. I did. I used to have blonde hair when I was young.
Are you live right now? Mm-hmm. You know you're shaking your leg in the whole thing shaking.
I know.
Okay.
Nobody's watching right now, though.
He's just saying the things he says out loud. The things you say out loud.
He's really good at everything. Really all that. He got second place. Believe me, none of you had a hard time. Well, it's good. You think that's the most important.
My phone does not like being right side up.
Not on my barrels today.
Hey, Ridstorf.
Good. Yeah.
Okay. How is the whole city all the people's here? Yeah, nothing to All I know is Beckstead isn't here, Murphy isn't here, and Mills isn't here. And Blank and Felsky. Which I don't care about the last two.
Do you have a plug in?
Huh?
You can say if you set up your phone up, then you don't have to hold it the whole time and you can get everything.
It won't stay, it will point at the table.
Me too.
Yeah.
What's that? No. Oh, okay.
Trying to think if there's something how to cross that up so you don't have to hold it.
Yeah. Good deal.
It worked for a second. My headphones are in, so that's probably why. I'm not listening to music because I'll get copyrighted. Hello, my one viewer.
And it's a lengthy thing, but it explains exactly how
This is just the beginning, but yeah, it's just the beginning. We're just getting started. It will start very soon.
They're not going to have
Why
I'll say the majority of those kids
here? It's so confusing.
that's going to add to their already
So here's the board.
before you reduce
There's all of us. This is their final decision, so it's either the school's gone or it stays. So this is the end, basically. People are doubting. I really hope it stays open.
Said in his statement. No, they don't explain nothing. That's the problem.
I got up and spoke 3 years ago. I said, I'm baptized because I didn't call
Hello, FT Dark End.
Hello. It's in the cafeteria. All right.
So here it is. We're gonna start very soon. A bunch of principals are here, some teachers are here. So, what's up? Hold on. Fixed my mic, I think. Hold on.
They might need you to stay there.
Okay.
They might need you to stay there.
Sorry, guys. Had to go grab something.
Oh, that's yours?
Hey, noise. Here's the big meeting. They're looking at me like I'm a psychopath. Oh, shut up. I already told you what was going on text messages. And if you read the title, you would know what was going on. Oh my god. My leg was attacked by a chair. A chair hopped into me. Can I have one? Thank you. I wonder what they'll say. They're probably going to say that they're going to close it. Because that's what they want. We should all have a voice, though. They don't care about that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on. Oh. I'm live on a app that I have on my phone. I'm not live on Facebook because I can't go live on Facebook. My Facebook's blocked off. Yeah, I can't. Okay. Sorry, parents are figuring out how we're all gonna live stream this. I'm live streaming to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you're a Twitch user, welcome. If you're a subscriber, if you are a YouTuber, or on YouTube. I am also streaming here. I see a bunch of you are coming from YouTube, so I don't think it's going out to Twitch. But I do know it's coming from Facebook because my mom sees it on Facebook. So yeah. I think it's gonna start in a minute, but I don't really know. Yeah. I can see what tapes you guys are like right here. My chat's like on the side of my screen. And I can see like the icons. Yes, I can see the icons of which app you guys are coming from. Like I can see that YouTube are coming from YouTube. I haven't seen any Twitch users or I have seen my mom on Facebook though. I do. I forgot my Twitch passcode though, so I can't get into Twitch anymore. Also guys, I may go up to talk, so you may be held by somebody else or you will be in my pocket because I don't want them to see me. Even though they're seeing me hold my phone and talk to you guys. So I'm an idiot. Hugs. Hugs. YouTube. Hugs.
Oh, hi, Nora. How are you?
Hugs.
Actually, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Retzloff. Tammy first. Hugs. Retzloff.
Hey, hi, Nora. How are you?
Hugs.
How are you?
Do you want a hug?
Hi.
You want a hug?
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice. You're a pretty good nice girl, aren't you?
I gave everybody hugs. You
Can I
sit
sit
right
on
here
your
if
lap?
you
Can I sit on your lap? Okay.
You can sit right here though.
Okay.
Free spot.
You gonna behave? You won't hurt me, will you?
No, well, I'm streaming.
Oh, yeah. You don't have a boyfriend.
No. We'll be quiet noise. I like hugging. Is anybody else coming? No.
I see some faces. But here.
Yeah, because we put posters around town.
My God.
Girl, trust me. My principal's over there. News peoples. Some person.
Did she get a home then?
No.
Okay, so my audio's okay, right, guys? Gemini! Child, come here.
I miss you so much.
How's school been?
Good.
Ready for the big meeting? Hey, everything will be okay. I'm sitting over here.
Mom.
I'm sitting right here.
Mom. I got it.
Pull up your seat and we'll push you off.
Here you go.
I'm a nice guy. Gosh dang, you girls need more. You gotta.
I don't eat. Well, I do, but yes, a child. Francis! I want my hugs.
Hi, kiddo.
Oh, I want my hugs. I'm a huggy person today. Okay, so this meeting's going good so far. I see some familiar faces. I see these familiar faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. I lied. I thought there was 6. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. Well, there's actually some new ones, I believe. Snickles. I'll be quiet. I do have a lot of personality. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, who else should I?
Do you go to school here now?
No?
No.
You ain't even talk. You're not very much fun.
Yep.
I'm scared.
Oh, here we go.
Schaefer?
Yes.
Swan?
Yes.
Mater Brett? Lizer? Mater Zach?
Yes.
Shutt? Yes. Roseland?
All right, we'll move on to a consent agenda, which includes notice of meeting, board meeting minutes, treasurer's report, and board plans. As always, anyone can remove any one of those items. Otherwise, I didn't do
Can I just yell objection really loud? I wish.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we will vote.
There's stuff on the TV, but I can't read it. Me either. I am a blind chicken nugget.
Motion approved with all board members voting in favor. We'll move on to item 6. We will first hear from our middle school PLC teachers. Science PLC.
Schaefer. It's my teacher. Middle school teacher. The gray one? Yeah, the gray one.
Here for science to tell you what we've been doing in middle school here for a little bit. And we have a presentation that we can email you if you'd like later on. But for it. I guess the biggest thing is in September 2017, the state adopted some new science standards. It was a welcome thing. Previously, our science standards were pretty old and very vocabulary, memorizing based ideas. And the nation has been moving for quite a while to just make science a little more hands-on and minds-on and stuff. So we finally adopted that here in Nebraska. They're modeled after what's called the next generation science standards. Very identical in a lot of ways. They just kind of Nebraskaized them a little bit, replaced them a little bit. And they're kind of broken into 3 main ideas. One is called disciplinary core ideas, the other is called science engineering practices, the other is called trusted concepts. Instead of just like kind of things to memorize being a whole bit, we have these 3 separate things that students are really doing science around. And it's kind of changed what we've done. Our curriculum before was just memorizing stuff, and now we're doing more things and such. So with that, probably biggest change we've had is there's one practice called engaging in argument from evidence. So we're really working with trying to get people to do an investigation and look at data and then try to formulate a scientific argument from that. So hopefully business will improve that.
Kind of our timeline we've been working on since the standards have been adopted in the spring and summer of 2015 that we met at that time 3 middle school science teachers, and we started out just working on 6th grade, changing our curriculum. We basically started from throughout our old curriculum. It was like Scott said, it doesn't really match the new standards, so we're coming up with our own curriculum. We do a lot of resources, things that we've done in the past. We found a lot of things online, a lot of open sources available to get things from. And so we focused on 6th grade, and we implemented that in the fall, starting in the fall of 2018. Then this last spring and summer of 2019, we focused our work on the 7th grade. So we're still developing the 7th grade curriculum. We have it mostly in place. That's when we spend most of our Wednesday PLC time, is discussing what we have done, what activities we've done that have worked well, what things we need to tweak for next year, and then what's coming up, getting things planned. So we're pretty much doing exactly the same thing in all three of the schools.
What's up?
Our work for this spring and summer is going to be adding 8th grade into the mix. And so by next fall and through next school year, we'll completely have got the middle school curriculum integrated into the new science series. We did consider looking at a curriculum to purchase, but there's a lot of the curricula that say they're aligned to the next generation science standards, but they really truly aren't. They're just taking what's already been there and basically claims that, well, this really matches, and really doesn't. That's why we kind of started over from scratch. Just some of the highlights of things that we've done in 6th grade. Previously, before we would do one scientific area per grade. 6th grade was earth science, 7th grade life, 8th grade physical. With the new standards, they are more integrated, so we do a little bit of all three of those every year. And it's been really nice to make connections between those three sciences with the things we do. In 6th grade, we spent a lot of time, especially first semester, with living things, characteristics of living things. We look at all the different human body systems as a whole. Some of the activities that we've done that have proven to be fairly popular with the kids. We do human body systems, we do a couple dissections. One is with chicken wings, so they can see how muscles and bones and ligaments and tendons all work together. And then we do the circulatory system. We've been dissecting deer hearts, because they get to actually see what a heart looks like. You can look at a diagram on a page, but that doesn't really what a heart looks like. The deer hearts we've been able to get from local hunters for free, so that's been an added plus, and the kids really seem to enjoy them. Right now in 6th grade, we're kind of getting close to the end of a unit on thermal energy, showing how thermal energy can move. We've done some work with insulating cups. Test some of like the Yeti versus other brands of cups, how well they work. And then we talked a little bit about insulation. Our final assessment, that's one of the things that I really like also is instead of a test where we memorize stuff, we do more some short quizzes and more project assessments where they can show what they've actually learned. And the assessment for our thermal energy is they will build a small house.
It's not my fault that you're talking about school.
Source under it to see where the heat, where it's losing heat, and they have to insulate that house and try to see who's insulate is the best to not have as much heat loss. And then we kind of end up with weather in 6th grade, and then we go into a little bit more life science on growth and development. 7th grade, we've been working on so far. We spent some time with a little bit of earth science at the beginning, talking about history of Earth, how earthquakes and volcanoes and those things form. One of the themes that I really like in 7th grade is they talk about natural resources, and it kind of goes through all of the disciplines. We talked earlier in the year about where natural resources can be found. We talked about how products can be used from resources, and one of the activities we found was we were able to get some malachite, which is a rock which is essentially copper ore, and dissolve it in sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid, and then when you dip an iron nail in it, this chemical reaction where the iron and the copper basically replaces, so you get a copper nail out of it. So you have to see how the copper is actually extracted from there. We've been doing a little bit of work with photosynthesis and respiration recently. One of the activities we both recently finished was the kids were kind of given a scenario, and that's a lot of our activities are kind of given a scenario to work with. And this was that they work for the Chex Mix company, and they're looking at trying to remove one of the ingredients. So which ingredient should they remove? And what we did was found out how many calories each piece was, and they had to use that as part of their scientific argument.
All right, and then with 8th grade, so currently 8th grade is kind of doing the gold standard stuff. Their test is staying here in 8th grade in science, and previously they were tested on the gold standards. This year they're going to be tested on the new standards, even though they haven't had the same chances to be totally locked in. But the results are going mostly just back to the state for them to help make the test. So anyway, where there's places that are appropriate to kind of tie in the new standards we have. But 8th grade's been kind of fun. We do a lot of different little
Smart, are you?
some cars and we crashed
Smarter
together.
than a teacher.
Kind of see how we
I have enough in math. Everything else is good.
use laws to
Where you go to school at?
and stuff like
Sweet
that.
Hollow?
My kids right now are working on filtering some
You hear the ghost?
waters. We're talking about matter and
You hear the ghost
mixtures,
out there
and, I just
at
made up
night?
some really gross
Howling
water.
and all that?
Literally some canned water from my turtle in my room and some water from
Did you have walk down here?
aquarium and put some coffee grounds and some dirt in there. And then the challenge is to them, as I said, after we're done filtering it, I'm going to drink the cleanest one. And it's going to work. So we're working on filtering it with a DIY filter. They're kind of researched online. And then we have a little distillation process, which will kill everything and make it more clean water for me that goes down here later this week. So yeah, we're just continuing to try to do those things. So that's all we got. We're available for any questions you have.
Any questions for staff?
My question would be, sixth grade, you started a year or so ago working on seventh grade. I'm assuming next year's process is to move into the eighth grade realm.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna be-
Yeah, and then that cohort is going to be tested with the new test, and they should have been, exposed to everything they're supposed to be in that.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We will now move to hear from anyone in our audience who would like to make a report to the board. As we mentioned last week at our meeting, public comment period will be limited to 30 minutes tonight. And so at 5 minutes, I will cut you off to be fair to everyone. So.
Good evening, I'm Mary Steiner, and I'm a grandmother guardian of a third grader in school over at Chapman. The decision to close the school is anguishing. It profoundly affects parents, community, school personnel, and of course students. It affects relationships and routines. In short, it alters not only school operations, but lives. I'm aware that there are school districts across the nation who have implemented best practices to close a school in order to make the process easier and more transparent. These best practices include, first, gathering the facts. The decision to close the school must be based on hard evidence that leads to a broadly supported, undeniable conclusion. The district cannot afford to keep the school open without cuts elsewhere, such as budget or staffing. This conclusion must be based upon such factors such as projections of declining enrollment, critical district financial considerations, facility conditions, educational program quality, and feasible options to closing the school. In a conversation that I had with Dan Meister last night, he told me that the Northwest School District is in sound financial condition. The district is not in a position of having to make cuts elsewhere. The proposal by the school board to close Chapman lacks the following. One, a broadly supported decision, as evidenced by the results of 2 recent community polls. But more important, the presence of all of these individuals here in opposition to the closure of the Chapman School. 2, critical district financial considerations. 3, poor facility conditions. And 4, a substandard educational program. The second best practice is forming a committee to gather the facts. It is not mandated in the state of Nebraska for a district to have and use a district advisory committee before decisions are made about school closure. However, it is good to receive advice when making an important decision, such as closure of a school. The job of the superintendent and board members is to evaluate facts, not gather them. And the process of gathering facts must be as credible, transparent, and non-political as possible. So at the very least, the district advisory committee, represented by a cross-section of the community, must be involved in the fact-finding necessary for an informal recommendation about school closure. An essential role of a district accountability committee would be to consider the district's facility master plan and how a school closure could affect or reinforce that plan. To the best of my knowledge, Northwest School District Board of Education does not have a facility master plan in place. If there is one, then that needs to be communicated to the public. When deciding which schools to close, there are many factors to weigh when selecting schools for possible closure. In the case of Chapman School, the following are already part of the school's infrastructure: the condition of a school facility, Chapman School is a modernized school, one in good repair and has technological capacity and other educationally innovative features, making it the best attendance center in the district in spite of its current enrollment. According to the information I've been reading, it may be better to close an at-risk or an at-capacity building or school, but it's physically mediocre. In addition, Chapman School has the only regular-sized gymnasium among the 4 attendance centers in the district. Second, environmental factors. Chapman School is located within a village that has town water and sewer, unlike other school attendance centers in the district who rely on wells and septic systems. In addition, there is a local first responder department in the village ready to respond immediately in the event of an emergency. 3, education program. Educational programs are generally mobile. Programs and staff can move from site to site. In the case of Chapman School, the staff have received extensive training about working with children who have experienced a high degree of trauma and are from low-income families. They are well prepared to work with students from all walks of life. The third best practice is making the decision. Based upon the District Accountability Committee's analysis and conclusion, the superintendent would make a recommendation to the school board. Once the recommendation has been presented to the board, the superintendent will conduct public hearings. The board did conduct one public hearing, but in such a manner that was perceived as a formality and not a genuine attempt at meaningful communication. The communication was one-sided. There wasn't the option for a question and answer session. Yes, an FAQ sheet was provided to all of us in attendance, but that did not suffice in terms of open communication. The fourth best practice is making the transition. Limited details have been provided about the transition plans in the event Chapman School is closed. Having reviewed this list of best practices, it is apparent that the school board has not fully considered all that is involved in the closure of a school. District patrons, students, staff, school staff, and community members deserve better than the board's and superintendent's efforts to date.
Hi, my name is Judine Hudnall. First of all, I want to thank those of you that reached out to us and communicated this week. We do appreciate that. My issue is as a landowner, and there's been a lot of discussion this week amongst the landowners about what we're going to do if Chapman closes. First, a little history. Back in 1963 or probably 1962, when they were talking about building Northwest High School, the farmers around, the landowners around Chapman had the opportunity whether they wanted to put their land in the Chapman School, Northwest School District or the Central City School District. And there was a lot of discussion and a lot of different opinions. And so the result is that the area surrounding Chapman is intermingled. Every land that my husband and I own, at least on one side, borders up against a piece of land that is in the Central City School District. And that does make it easier when it comes to transferring land out. And in some instances, our neighbors have land that is in both Central City and Northwest District. Several landowners are considering transferring or looking into their transferring, especially if it means that if we're expected to fund a new bond for, I know you guys have talked about a middle school, and I'm not decided on that myself. We see no real loyalty to us and feel that it would be difficult to have our land taxes go to Hall County when maybe it would be better spent in our own county. Personally, my husband's loyalty to Northwest runs very deep. There's been a Hudnall in this Northwest High School since 1966, except for just maybe a handful of years. Our youngest son graduated in 2016. That's 50 years that there's been a blood relative in this school. We've had several people over the years ask us, why are you so loyal to Northwest?
Hey guys, invite your friend and help us save Chapman.
I don't know what I would tell them, because this has always been our school. And it goes way back. I just don't know what I would tell them now. that's all I have to say is I just want you guys to realize that there is talk going on, and people, farmers, landowners around that area are concerned, very concerned.
I'm Abby Thomas, Chapman parent. The Chapman community and Chapman School were gracious enough to join an effort to establish the Northwest District in 1964 on the grounds of not educating Grand Island students. Some years later, and just over 3 short years ago, the community of Chapman stood before the Northwest District Board fighting to keep our school. By the grace of God and the strength, love, teamwork, care, and efforts of our community, we kept the school open, much to the dissatisfaction of the board. In February of 2017, the downfall of Chapman began at the hands of the school board. The board decided to remove grades 6, 7, and 8, and this was the first step in the depopulation of Chapman School. The board promised our school and our community that they would replace our population at Chapman with alternative education. This never did happen. It's not in the process of happening, and nor is it in the plans for the district's future. We have asked, where is this program? How is it working? Why isn't this program in place? Why are our rooms in Chapman sitting empty? This was one of the first decisions the board made to begin depopulating Chapman School. The community of Chapman did our own recruiting. We had families excited and committed to attending Chapman. The board changing grades 6, 7, and 8 from our facility made those families look elsewhere. We no longer had a place in Chapman for their children to attend. Again, the board depopulating Chapman School. The board demanded we stop our recruiting efforts, promising to do their own. Again, this hasn't happened. It's not currently happening. There has never been any intention to do so. We have asked, what efforts are you making to populate Chapman? What efforts are you doing to recruit students for Chapman? The only answer we have gotten is we can't force option students to go to the school they don't want to. And that's right, you can't. But you also can't take from the Chapman community to accommodate the Grand Island option students. Again, the board depopulating Chapman School. Let's talk about preschool. Why are we capping those classes at 15 students when we have the capacity for 20 and a waiting list? Why would you intentionally stifle the growth of Chapman right where it has the best opportunity to begin? The preschool program and staff are phenomenal. I had 2 kids go through it 2 years each. I assure you that the Chapman facility would have a higher population with those preschoolers, and they would continue on at Chapman just to stay in the district and with the Chapman family. Again, depopulating Chapman School. The board has misled the taxpayers by leading them to believe that Chapman is a school that nobody wants their children to attend. That Chapman is a school that nobody is willing to have their children bused to. And that Chapman is a school that is causing a deficit within the district. The community of Chapman and the Merritt County taxpayers feel very differently. Why is it all about dollars and cents? Why isn't it about family and community? Why do you continually take from and tear down the most fragile population we are blessed with in our district? We need Chapman. Chapman is the cornerstone of the Northwest District. Are you sure you won't fall after you knock out the cornerstone from our foundation?
Hey guys, I'm Dr. Tyler Poole. I attended Chapman K through 8th grade, and I'm a 2003 Grand Island Northwest graduate. Bear with me tonight. I was not planning on coming here and doing this, but I will tell you this: Chapman is a very big part of who I am. It's often looked at as a small, tight-knit community that oftentimes is thought of kind of an afterthought. It's always been a sort of a
my guidance counselor is staring at me.
The
LOL.
Oh, it's alright. I'm gonna jack it up here a little bit. Perfect. Even better. Thanks, guys. As I was saying, Chapman's kind of always been an afterthought, underdog story in a way, if you will. Growing up, Chapman kind of taught me taught me how to be resilient. It taught me how to get back up when I was knocked down. That's a life lesson I've taken with me a long ways. The amount of times I've been knocked down and gotten back up in life again, a lot. Chapman instilled that in me. That is a part of who I am. I had a conversation with the late Ed Detweiler, and what Mr. D told me is, he told me that's a pretty special place. If you haven't been a part of that community, it's hard to understand what it means to the people. And I'm here to tell you guys, Chapman is a very resilient place. I don't envy anybody that sits and makes these type of decisions at all. That's not a fun decision to make. But I will tell you this: Chapman may get knocked down. That school is part of the community. They're going to get back up. The underdog doesn't always win, and that's okay. But when the underdog does win, it's noteworthy. That school is part of that community. That part of the community is part of who I am. Just remember that Chapman is a community. They build and they stand up for each other, and they may get knocked down, but they're just going to keep getting back up. Thanks, everybody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tammy Garbers. I own Tammy's Daycare. We have showed you how Chapman supports itself and gives Northwest extra money from our taxes. Now let's talk about our kids. That's my main goal with my kids. Jerry Wheat said that you never know, kids may like it in a bigger school and will do well. I think he is wrong. Some of my kids come from a bigger school. They have moved here from a bigger school. They are now thriving in our smaller school. They are getting the one-on-one they need to do better in school, which will help them later in life. I have my bigger kids who know about the possibility of their school closing, acting out. They are scared about going to a bigger school, worried about leaving their friends and teachers. A lot of my parents have said they chose Chapman for the small size and the one